Hey, how's it going? Today we are doing another test in the ultrasonic cleaner. What we are going to do is see if the ultrasonic cleaner cleans the same way when you put your dirty parts in. We have a glass mason jar and a plastic jar. So we're going to put these wheel nuts here that are just covered in grease, used motor oil, and gear oil. So we'll throw a couple in each of these, and then we'll throw a couple just in the ultrasonic cleaner by themselves. And everything's going to have the same cleaner, which is the oil eater cleaner. I did a test previously, and I'll have a link in the description of that, where this was the best cleaner out of, I forget, maybe it was like 6 or 7 of them. So we'll get this all set up and get it into the cleaner. And we're just going to put the oil eater in just so it's covering these wheel nuts. Let's see, because they're going to float on their side like this. So I would say it's still a good amount. So we'll put this in. Same thing, let's see how this one is. Alright, put this in. And now we have to add some of our cleaner into just our water here, and we're actually going to throw in the whole thing. So that's just over a quart. Alright, and right now our temperature in here is, let's see, 156, 53, so it's kind of bouncing all over. You can see what the max is on there. And I'll just bring you up here and you can see inside. So they're kind of floating around. You can see they are submerged enough. We're going to turn this on. I think we'll do 10 minutes and then we'll come back. We'll check all 3 of them and maybe we'll throw it on for another 10. So we'll be back in a minute. Alright, the first round just got done, so let's open this up. Alright, you can definitely see our water is dirty, but that's just from our wheel nut that's actually in the tank, not our jars here. And we're around 159, as you can see. So let's pull out this first. I mean, it's definitely dirty. You can see all the grease that's just outside. I mean, they look clean, definitely. And our glass jar. You can see how it is separated, which is kind of weird. I don't know why it's like that in this one, but not that one. These look really clean though too. And let's see if we can grab this basket out without burning my fingers. That's really hot. And our wheel nuts in here look like they're really clean also. Let's just throw it in for another 10 minutes and then we'll take them out and actually inspect. What I'll do real quick is I'll turn this on without putting on the lid and you can kind of get an idea of how it looks. So let me just set the timer here quick for 10 minutes. Alright, so the second round has just finished up. We'll pull them out. Okay, so big complaint about the plastic is the lid popped off. I guess from the heat it just couldn't hold on, so that's now down there. Alright, this is the mason jar. Alright, looks like at least our wheel nut stayed in here, so we can at least still test that and to see how they are. Alright, I guess let's start off right away with what's in our basket. Grab them. So right away, it's totally clean. Like this speck here is actually some old paint. It took off pretty much all the black paint it had on here. Super clean. Same thing with the second one. You can see that's just some of the black paint, but it took almost all that off. Alright, let's do the mace or the plastic jug since I have it right here. We have 3 of them that were in the plastic jug, and they all look the same. Really nice and clean. Really nice and clean. Same thing. These ones have no black paint left on them. Alright, the mason jar. Alright. Super clean. Really no more black paint on it. Same thing, super clean, really no black paint on it. A little bit of grease or something inside, but... Alright, so the whole point of this is to see if we can clean in a cleaner, because that would save you a lot of a cleaner product. Instead of having to put so much in when your tank is full, you can literally just put a little in these cups. So that would really add up in the end when you're using a cleaner, especially if you're using some of the more expensive cleaners. They're all, so the mason jar and our plastic jar, they're really the same. Even our ones in the tank, they're really the same. The ones in the tank have more of the original black paint on still. So, I mean, it almost did better in our containers, but our containers were just straight the cleaner, where in our tank there is water and cleaner. So that's probably the main reason to that. Now, some pros and cons of these jars. As you saw, the plastic one here, when I went to grab it, probably because of how hot it was, this lid just pulled right off, and I had it on tight, and you see it's just a cheap jar where if you go to over tighten it, it just pops off. So maybe that's what happened. Mason jar, some cons. You know, it's glass. You could easily smash it and have a mess. The other issue is this glass and metal lid definitely get hotter than what the plastic does. So if you're just going in like I am, just bare hands in water that's 160 degrees, you know, that might feel a little worse. I definitely plan on doing some more tests with some other types of things that need to be cleaned in a mason jar and just plastic jar. I'll probably even try maybe a Ziploc bag. We can see how that works, or maybe some Tupperware or something. Just again, it would really save on the cost of our cleaner. Like this oil eater, I think is super good, and it's only $18. But if this is full, you need to add almost half of this into our tank. Or for both of these, I maybe used 8 ounces. So you'll save, especially like if you use something like this. If you're doing a cleaner that's more expensive like this, which I believe is $50 for a gallon, you know, if you have to use half of this in here, that's a big difference compared to just using a couple ounces in a jar. If there is anything you'd like to see put in these jars or put into just the ultrasonic cleaner, if there's a method that is something like using jars for a cleaner, you know, please leave me a comment. And if you can also please like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.